Grammy Award-winning singer Amy Winehouse died of alcohol poisoning. Ask your boyfriend how he around. Amy.
How do you control somebody else's addiction?
A lot of artists are just too sensitive for the world.
Maybe. To buy his own weed and don't realize it down.
He hadn't taken any drugs for 3 years. What about alcohol? Well, alcohol is different issue.
Tonight, shocking details in Grammy Award-winning singer Amy Winehouse's death. Although Amy's drug abuse was no secret, certainly the new coroner's report says she was totally clean of illegal drugs. So then what was the cause of her death? The answer, booze. The report says Amy had chug-a-lug about 5 times the legal limit of alcohol, enough to poison yourself. And in Britain, they always have a way with the turn of a phrase. They're saying the cause of death is, well, it's death by misadventure. Cops discovered 3 bottles of vodka in Amy's apartment when she died. This is all what we're learning from the coroner's report, which was released just a little while ago. Amy's dad thought she might have died initially. This was his theory anyway, from alcohol withdrawal or alcohol abstinence. Listen to this.
She would drink for 2 or 3 weeks, and then she would detox for 2 or 3 weeks. And that's the worst thing that anybody could do. Well, alcohol is far more dangerous than drugs are anyway. As you probably know, it's far worse for you, if that's the right expression. And the withdrawals are very difficult, far more painful. The chemical imbalances in the body that are created by binging and then substance, it creates incredible chemical imbalances in your body.
Yeah, well, now we know that she had too much alcohol, and he's got a new explanation. Our hearts go out to the parents, but are they in denial? Could this singer have been trapped also by, well, the whole persona she created with her hit song about not wanting to go to rehab? Listen to this from Republic Records.
Rehab, I said no. Yes, I've been back, but when I come back, no.
All right, give me a call. What do you think? 1-877-JDM says. 1-877-586-7297. Straight out to my dear buddy, Pop Eater's Rob Shooter. What have you heard about the coroner's report? What is the significance, in your opinion? You cover Hollywood celebrity, coast to coast and across the pond.
This has caused a big sort of end to this topic. For a long time, we didn't know what had killed Amy. There was a lot of speculation. Was it drugs? Her dad put forward a very controversial theory that you mentioned, that she was on detox and that killed her. So we've had all these rumors. None of them really added up. So finally now we know, we have the evidence, we have the scientific proof, and we know that she was way over the legal limit, 5 times over, and this is what killed her. Also, too, you did mention there was 3 bottles of vodka found in the room. What they actually found is 3 empty bottles of vodka. So this girl was drinking big time, and it looks like ultimately she paid the ultimate price.
Yeah, a very important distinction. 3 empty bottles of vodka. Thank you for that, Rob. Now, her family and friends thought that Amy was getting better. Okay, they were hopeful. Maybe they were a little bit in denial or a little bit codependent. However, here's an example of how her work was suffering. Look at this from YouTube, and then we'll analyze it.
I love you,
Duncan Roy, producer, director, former cast member of VH1 Sex Rehab with Dr. Drew. You're very familiar with addiction and sobriety. That's sad, and my heart goes out to the family. But I'm also concerned about people getting misinformation about alcoholism as a recovering alcoholic myself. First, when the dad doesn't know the cause of death, he says, well, her problem was she stopped drinking too suddenly. She should have tapered off. And then after this horrific report showing she had 3 empty bottles of vodka and had consumed more than 5 times the legal limit. This is what he says. It is likely a buildup of alcohol in her system over a number of days. We know that's not how alcohol works because alcohol gets metabolized, and that's why people sober up. What do you make of the parents' excuses?
Well, I think you're right. Obviously, they are in denial. But what I've been hearing from London, from the community, the AA community, is the fact that she's been trying really hard to stay sober. And I think what happened is, like her father said, was that she was a binge drinker. And, you know, what happened was that she fell off the wagon and drank 3 bottles of vodka. And if you're in a sort of a reduced state, if you're vulnerable, then it's going to kill you. I mean, I think, you know, you and I know that alcohol kills. And,
yeah.
And you and I know that it doesn't need to take a sort of huge amount of drugs for you to die as well. But, you know, we come from a place where, I mean, I saw many people die of alcohol poisoning, so it wasn't a great surprise to me to hear that it was just alcohol.
Yeah, and I got to say that I don't even have, I don't allow the dentist to give me anything with alcohol when I gargle, when I go get my teeth cleaned, because even a tiny drop of alcohol that might be placed in a candy, which I don't eat anymore, or in a glass, that could set off a binge, and I don't know where I'm going to end up.
You're absolutely right. I mean, the problem with Amy is that she had been in the Priory. She had tried really hard to clean up from drugs, and I think succeeded. But, you know, I think in England, where alcohol isn't as taken as seriously as drugs, I think that, you know, she was let off the hook. Oh, she's only drinking. That's the problem.
Bad idea. Booze can kill you just as fast as drugs. Jamie, Florida. We're going to go after the phones. Your question or thought, Jamie?
I think that she died from alcohol for sure, because if you listen to her CDs, every song has to do about, you know, drinking. If you look at her in the media, she's always at clubs, she's always drinking heavily, you know, talking about rehab and everything. I thought for sure it was alcohol when she first passed away.
Yeah, Susan Powder, you're a fitness guru and a proud recovering alcoholic. Thank you for joining us and being so honest, along with Duncan Roy. Was she trapped in her I don't want to go to rehab persona? Was she kind of boxed into a corner that was her selling point? The very fact that she was kind of a mess was her selling point.
Not even close. This is way beyond the struggling artist and all of that. That's like 1912. Alcoholism is a physiological disease, not a psychological disease. The American Medical Association said in 1957, that was 54 years ago, because I'm 54 in a month. It was 54 years ago that they said it's a physiological disease. Amy's father is absolutely right. Alcoholism is a physiological disease that kills. It does more damage to every internal organ than crack or heroin combined. Everyone knows it. It's time to update this a bit. And by the way, you know, I mean, the monarchy is homeopathic. There's a different awareness of the physiological connections. She died from the 3rd largest killer in the United States. And this whole concept that it's a matter of, by the way, AA has a 7% recovery rate. That's great for the 7%. Amy Winehouse was a lovely, talented, brilliant young woman who died for no reason because nobody treated her physiological disease. Do you have to say English and Irish? Do you have to say more than that? Physiological disease, Australian and Irish.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, listen, I'm half Irish and I'm half Puerto Rican, and I don't think we should be making it an ethnic issue.